Laughing. Hey, everybody, welcome to the No Fluff, No Gimmicks, Raw, Unfiltered podcast for entrepreneurs, specifically real estate investors. We are the Golden Ticket Podcast.com. You can check us out. I am your host, Jesse Davis, and I got my man here from Palm Beach, Florida, Jason Cuero. What's up, brother, man?
What's up, brother? How's it
Not much,
going?
man. Tell me what you going. No, you tell me what's going with you.
Oh, you want to know something? I've made
Yeah.
one of those cardinal sins, which is I got super busy with a bunch of deals and slightly took my foot off the gas in the past week or so. It's starting to pick up with not as many crickets, meaning no phone calls, nothing coming in. But I'm looking at the past week or so, and I'm like, I'm down in terms of direct mail sending out by like 1,500, close to like 16 and change, when no direct mail's going out. So it's been quiet. So
You're down. You're down as far as like you haven't sent those out, or
I didn't send them out, and
why?
because I was busy with present deals, and you know what happens when you focus
Gotcha. Okay.
on present deals, you spend no time on future deals, which means when the present deals get caught up and you're looking around, all of a sudden those present deals are paying for the future time waiting for potential leads coming in. They're not fun.
Yeah, that's the thing that actually, when I first got into wholesaling, a video that I watched, before I was even wholesaling, I was just doing some research, and the guy was saying, and it's so true, like how you're marketing, and if you're doing it by yourself, you're marketing, and once you get a deal, then you're trying to dispo it, and so it's like once you're trying to dispo, sometimes your marketing, can get shut down a little bit. I think on your end is a little bit different with the land because you have outbound marketing. Inbound, you're sending the mail out, but also, and you're listing a lot of so you're doing all wholesale, right? You're wholesaling all your deals online on
Yeah,
MLS or what?
I'm wholesaling all my deals. I'm not doing any sort of
So
owner financing.
you doing a flat fee or what?
What was that?
Are you doing a flat fee listing or are you?
Yeah,
Well, you're a realtor, so you can list them.
I could. That's a good point. But here's the thing. I don't want any part of listing these properties on my MLS, only for the mere fact that I'm not wearing that hat. So the last thing I want are realtor-esque questions. I'd rather just leave that to the pros. So I'll list it on one of the flat fees. It just so happens that I take the call so I can screen them real quickly. Pay a little fee, and then they get you know how it goes. In case people didn't know this, when you list on the MLS, whether it's a flat fee portal or through a retail shop, they shoot it out and syndicate it to your Zillows, your Realtor.coms, your Trulia, you name it, and every other website across the board. You got to list on the MLS. You got to pay to play. Unless you've got a deep pocket of buyers that are looking for off market that you can go to, I think we're not.
Those are infill lots, right? That's what you're going to do, infill. You can't really,
No,
because you're finding.
I will. I'm 1 to 25 acres, and really most of the stuff that I'm dealing with is over 3 acres. Don't get me wrong, especially in Florida, I deal with a lot of 1 acre lots. Closing on a 1 acre lot, I'll give you the quick skinny, and then we're not going to get off the subject here, my friend.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
We know what we're here to talk about. But it was a 1 acre lot that I had under contract for, $18,000. And I found an end investor that's going to pay $28,000. So after all closing costs, figure a little over $8,200-$8,300.
So 3 acres for $18K.
That's enough to pay the bills, put more back into marketing. Little base hit. I would like.
But you're saying you sold, but you said you had 3 acres for 18,000?
No, it was no.
You got
I'm sorry. 1 acre.
Okay.
I had under contract
still for 18,000.
For
Gotcha.
18,000.
What's he going to do with it?
He is just accumulating some lots for his portfolio and basically leveraging his 401k, so to speak. So he's got more in real estate.
Gotcha.
So I've got him on my short list of potential investors in that zip code. So if I've got any sort of parcels that pop up, I'll just bring it to him. And then I won't have to list with, flat fee service.
And tell us this hot zip code you're in. I'm just joking.
It's in Florida. How's that sound? It's funny. It's funny that you even said that, because that's such a. And I know you're joking with me. That's such a rookie question. I'm sure when people
Yeah.
ask you, tell me the hot zip code.
Where you at, man?
Can I tell you something? And I know you've come across this too. Yes, you want to go where there's low-hanging fruit to get going. But just as quickly as you kind of cut yourself on those small deals, you're like, I want out of this small deal scenario of low-hanging fruit, because you really are competing with a lot of people. You're never going to get out of there if you don't jump out headfirst into the bigger deals. Yeah, you're going to have to know market selection is critical in this business. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, especially if you're doing a mail or any kind of inbound, outbound, or expensive marketing. Yes. Now, when I was texting, I would just go to metro area. Let's just blast them. But if you're doing mail, you gotta be really good at picking markets. Florida is good, and I did all of North Florida. I did Lee County, that was hard. But yeah, but I was trying to get at, just real quick, and we'll get to our topic.
But this is kind of a segue in, so don't rush it.
What I was trying to get at with you is I was saying, hey, you have a 1 acre lot, and so typically with the land we're gonna look for the retail buyer, not the investor guy. So the investor is gonna make a spread too. With a retail buyer, they're just gonna buy it to own it. So what he found was a 1 acre lot. What I'm looking at on that point, so that's why I was asking what he's gonna do with it. He just wants to keep it for his portfolio.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna build. What I'm thinking as an investor, hey, $18,000, 1 acre lot, hard to lose on that, pretty cheap, 1 acres.
Dry.
I'm just going to hold on to it. So you found an investor that just I almost want to call him just a retail buyer. Really, he's not going to do anything with it. He's not going to do anything to make another spread. No building. He's not going to build anything. So
yes and no.
Land's just different than the houses. Yeah. Sometimes you find infill lots. You can find a builder. Well, then that's how you can assign those deals. And you might not have to put on the MLS, but for the most part with land, from my experience, you got to get on the MLS, and you got to be transparent with the owner, with the seller, because I've had where I wasn't transparent. I was like half-assed transparent. I wasn't like super
transparent. Half foot out.
Yeah, and then that's when he found out. He was a realtor, and that's when he found out. Oh, it's listed. I don't want to do this deal. Please, cancel. I'm like, oh, that's no problem, man. I thought we were clear on it. I'm sorry. But I knew from now on, let's be super transparent. So, anyways, into our topic today, guys. What is a deal? Avatar of a deal, and me and Jason can tell you exactly what. Not necessarily on my end, for me, not what a deal is, but what is not a deal, and that'll actually tell you what a deal is. So
there you go.
I'll kind of start off real quick because I've had some calls today, and I get a lot of calls from this one lot. I have 0 lots listed now. I transferred my business over. I'm doing something different. I'm not doing a land marketing anymore. Exactly. So I have 1 lot's been listed since February 2024. It's a wetlands. It's in a really good area. That's why I kind of got it locked up. As I was like, well, I got it cheap. So I'm wholesaling the deal. The guy knows what I'm doing. He just wants to get rid of it. We've had it listed for over a year now. I get hardly any calls. If I do get calls, I'm very transparent, in my listing. But it's a wetlands. It's 3.88 acres, and it is about 90% wetlands, pretty much all floodplains. But it's in a really good area where that amount of acreage, if you were able to make that buildable, it'd be worth probably. Oh my gosh, probably $200K or something more.
Well, hold on a second. Don't go through this. This is actually a good deal. And then
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But go ahead.
You've got an agreement for over 12 months because we're on 14 months now.
Well, okay. So my contract is probably no good anymore. I'm really close with that's another thing, guys. Be really close with your sellers. I'm close with the guy.
Yeah.
I could just email him and be like, hey, man, I found a buyer. Can we get a new contract? You'd be like, okay, sure. That sounds great. You'd be so happy.
Yeah.
Because they can't even sell the lot. So Yeah, he's getting way more than what he paid. He paid $100 for it. Yeah, $100.
Dare I ask how
Oh
much
no,
you have it
but
listed for?
9,000.
How much?
Oh, it's under. I have it contracted for 9, and I have it listed for 19.9. It's 3.88 acres. Yeah, it's two rectangle. It has road frontage, two rectangle lots. So, anyways, but yeah. So that's the deal, guys. That I probably necessarily would have contract, because the thing is, you think, okay, you just have it contracted. You're marketing on the MLS. So basically, what's my all in on this, guys? I'll tell you right now. My all in is $100 flat fee listing. And so, just I wanted to ask you earlier what you use. So I'm sure you use what I use. If you guys use flat fee, use Beycom.com, Beycome. Is that what you use?
Brokerless.
Okay, I like Beycom because they're really easy to use. It's $100, and my listing has been on there since then. People are still calling me. So I paid $100 for a year ago. They listed on Zillow and a realtor. The support's good. I recommend Baycom. But anyways, so $100 for that. I paid about $150 for some drone shots and video. So I'm about $250 in on this deal, minus the marketing. I don't want to count that part, but anyways. But is it 250?
It's negligible.
Yeah, the $250 though. Is it? Why do the marketing as far as like my overall year? Like how much did I spend on marketing? How much did I make? But $250 on this deal. I get it. But is it worth my time to answer phone calls? And I'm very transparent in my listing, like exactly what you have. I did research on it. What you have to do to get it a buildable, if it's even buildable. But I'm saying the avatar is not the avatar that you want, unless you want to specialize in the wetlands and figure out how to make wetlands buildable. But if you're new in this, don't do that. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Get the easy deals, guys. Easy deal. If it's not a, this is one guy they told me before. Well, I heard a guy in a video say, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So
I think just to kind of add to what you're saying, so like my ideal avatar would be, like I said, 1 to, call it 25 acres, call it 30 acres, 1 to 30 acres. Okay. I will consider, but not probable, if the lot is in an HOA or some sort of POA, which, in case anyone doesn't know, that's where you're required to pay monthly dues or annual dues.
what is POA? I've never heard of POA. What is
Property Owners Association, where it's
that?
almost
Same
like
thing as HOA.
self-managed, which basically means they call the shots, which will more than likely mean you could build what you want for the most part, but you're going to need some sort of green lighting through the county and through probably some of these voluntary board members. I don't like to mess around with wetlands unless it's less than 40%. So on an acre, I'm not messing with any sort of wetlands. But if it's 5, 6, 7 acres and it's a smidgen or less than 40% and they're still building, then I'll touch it. If it's landlocked, I don't even mind sometimes, especially if I've gotten it on a good deal. There's been plenty of times I've bought it at 20 cents on the dollar. I sell it to the neighbor for 35 cents on the dollar.
There you go.
And they love it. They're like, great, now we have all this land. The other thing is, I think that would probably be the main thing. But the bigger thing is that most of the heirs have to be alive, or they have to be willing to go through probate if one of them's been deceased. Otherwise, I'm not presently chasing down and doing a lot more of the messy titles the way you would be, because of the back end support and work needed to kind of go through those files. That's why I think our partnership is perfect, symbiotic.
Yeah.
You like that word?
I love that word. Yeah, that's very a big vocabulary you have.
Ooh, listen, I love the
You
English
say a lot
language.
of cool words.
There's nothing better. So yeah, I mean, that's the avatar I'm focusing with. But let me ask you this question. Tell me about the anatomy of the seller avatar on your end. Meaning,
Oh, that's perfect. I love that question.
right? Like, what gets you?
Gosh, that's good.
What gets your gander going in terms of what you would
What gets
think
my
of
juices flowing?
as an ideal avatar? And then I'll tell you mine.
Yeah. Okay, so I love that question because, guys, that is a huge thing when you're work because the seller is your partner on this deal, and if you have a crappy seller or kind of arrogant or just like not wanting to work with you, even if it's a deal, it might not make it to the finish line if you're not fast enough. And I had those deals last year. People were very impatient, and I'm like, do I got to drop the price? Drop the price. I get this sold. This guy's about to cancel. Because when you're trying to wholesale the deals, you have no control. Like, you're not going to sue anybody for not, a lack of a performance of a deal.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my perfect avatar is someone who they're going to have distress, or they're eager to sell and they want to work with you. They want they want to do all the stuff, and they're patient, and they're not arrogant. Like, okay, this is one thing. Someone says, I don't really have to sell, but I mean, I'll sell if I get this. Those people, I mean, you better sell that thing really quick because they're probably
Yeah.
getting calls nonstop, and they'll end up signing with somebody else and cancel your contract. They can't cancel, but you're wholesaling, so you don't have any power. But you want someone eager, and those relationships you want to build with them. You want to be able to build a relationship with the seller. It's very important.
Without a
Updates
doubt.
weekly, stuff like that. But that's the avatar. I want someone who is a team player, who understands what I'm doing, understand that I want to help them. I'm going to make money, and they understand that. Just being super transparent. Also transparent with them, but also not divulging a mouth a mouth of information vomit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying words they don't understand. Like, don't do too much, but like for example, I'll say I'm not your buyer, but I can get you $20,000, and that'll be your net to you. I'll pay everything else. Let me market it, or let me, I'll find the buyer for you. I have a good relationship with buyers, this and that. I'm going to list it, have them sign everything. Anyways, but yeah, on avatar, I want someone that's going to work with me. That's my
Yeah.
avatar. Someone who's not, and also buyers too. I had a mistake with a buyer was going to buy the wetlands. The one buyer that wanted to buy it, and he was a jerk. And I freaking just kept going with them. And I kept putting up with this crap, and he
Yeah.
ended up canceling. And because it took too long, it was like 3 weeks, bro. I'm like, give us a chance. Like, we had to fix some title issues. Anyways, I kept it $500. Another thing, guys, get a deposit. Get a freaking deposit, non-refundable
From the
deposit,
end
at
buyer.
least $500.
Yeah.
What's
From
that?
the end.
Because
From
that
the
pays
end buyer.
for the yes, from the end buyer, because that
Yeah.
pays for your title search. Because if not, if he cancels, I still got to pay the title company for the title search and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So, but I know now I'm not working with any buyers unless I'm not going to be your little punk. I'm sorry, Link, but I'm not going to be your bitch. You're going to work with me or
Ah,
you're not.
so
You,
crass. How could you use that word?
because, man, some people are, I'm not going
Yeah,
to
you got
be
to
like
call it
that.
what it
But
is. You got to call it what
yeah,
it is.
I'm not going to be like that. So I'm going to work. If you're going to work with me, I'll work with you. If not,
Yeah.
then, then yeah, I want to work with people, and that's it. That is my avatar.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a extensive overview of the Avatar situation from 30,000 feet. So it goes without saying that if I can't have a conversation the same way I'm having a conversation with you, I'm not going to get out of the gate. I'm not bending over backwards for you. I'm not, pardon my language, I'm not kissing your ass for anything. This is the service that I,
Ooh, that's so crass.
if you want to sell, Mr. Seller, okay, I'm willing to purchase your property for this. I'm going to do extensive due diligence, and I'm going to verify that this property, this parcel of land's highest and best use is either something that I want to keep for my personal use or something that I want to bring to my clientele of properties that I either might have an interest in either titling for them or prepping so that they can do what they want, whether it's put a mobile home, whether it's put an RV, whatever it might be, Mr. Seller. So they're going to get X. I'm going to pay for Y, meaning their closing costs. And if they're okay with that, then they're going to have to be okay with the fact that I'm going to keep them abreast, which would mean every week or 2 weeks, I'm going to let them in, let them know where I am in the process.
It's very important.
If I don't have that connection with them, like I'll tell you a real quick funny story. So I thought I was about to get a deal under contract, and there was a misprint on the proposal, and it was literally
So
$1,000.
proposal, you mean is your purchase agreement?
It was $1,000 off on the purchase agreement. I wound up using an old template. long story short, she berated me on an email that I'm a scammer and that I'm this and that. And I told her, listen, in a nice way, I said, it was a mistake. My assistant, who I'm training, she handled it. If this is something that you don't want to do, I understand. Let's just part ways as it is. I told you that I'm interested in the property. I can have the corrected contract over to you in the next few minutes. If that's okay with you, let me know. If not, I wish you the best. She was responsive of a couple minutes later. I sent that out. It was executed. And ever since then, I've gone above and beyond to make sure that she's in the loop and there've been no issue.
Okay. This is a property you still have right now?
Yeah. And I feel bad, but I'm going to be canceling on her soon because.
Dang. Let's talk about that at the end, though. I want to talk about our deals at the end. But yeah, that's good.
But I think more than anything else, the avatar is going to be someone that, number one, wants to sell. And you got to ask them. I come right out the gate. Are you considering selling? Do you want to sell now? When do you want to sell by? What's your goal?
Yes.
What's the timeline?
Yes.
Because they're going to say one of two things. I'll sell it, if I can, or, I'm not in a rush. They're going to give you the tells of whether or not they're motivated. If they're not motivated, then I'm not motivated. So
exactly,
you're going to have to figure that out along the way, that if you don't know how to talk to these guys,
don't
let them lead you, is all I'm saying. You got to lead them.
Yes.
So
do you agree? Do you agree too? Like as far as the seller, I like we're talking about now. I like how we're switching to the seller because that means a lot. The deal is easy to pick out, but sometimes, but the seller can be the one that can kill the deal, or like it's not even a deal because they don't even really want to sell. So, do you agree that? I don't know where I was getting with that. The seller. I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, I know what I was going to say about that. There's something about the seller.
Do I agree with the seller? Well, maybe as far as commandeering the ship of where the pricing is going or what the process is going, I'm trying to pull.
Yeah, I will say this. Something I heard from RJ Bates the third, or probably he's a big wholesaler. He's big about transparency.
I've met him.
Yeah,
before.
he's like you actually met him? That's pretty cool. I talked to him on the phone one time, a long time ago. He was trying to sell me like to get on his course, which I'm sure is awesome. But anyways, about as the buyer, understand that you have power, guys. Like the seller is not like you're not like, oh, please sell me your land, please. Oh my gosh, will you sell it to me? No, you are the buyer. You have power. They want to sell it, and you can perform. A lot of people can't perform, and if they want to sell, they do, and if they don't, they don't. And I think that's the big thing too, trying to pick out who you waste your time with, and you'll learn that at first, and don't get discouraged because maybe you're not figuring it out fast enough, and maybe you think you're wasting a lot of time. Also, I was going to ask you, do you agree that a seller, the more people you talk to, the more you find out there are certain seller avatars, and they're like all the same. How much you going to give me? What's your offer? I could sell. The best is like, well, yeah, I need to sell because my mom or there's some distress. You're like, oh, that's a good one there. But even then, sometimes those are hard to get. Like, there's always an avatar. There's always objections, the same objections. Let me speak with your attorney. I'll speak with my attorney.
I know all the objections. I mean, I always, and not just to jump back in, say, well, why haven't you just listed it with an agent?
Oh yeah, dude, pull away.
That's my favorite. That's my go-to all the time. Me too. Then they completely fold. They show all their cards, and I know exactly where I am in the.
If they're motivated. If they're not, they won't. They won't fold their cards. Yeah, and that's when you know to walk away.
Why haven't you sold it with an agent, or why haven't you listed with an agent?
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, well, I'm not that motivated.
There you go. Thank you. You called me.
I had it listed with an agent, and I couldn't get what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like dealing with agents. Those are all
that's a big one.
All red flags.
Mm-hmm.
All red flags. Then that's when I start really doing the digging, and I anchor low.
Yes. Because guys, this is like what, and I think you'll agree with me, is like we're here to. It's got to be helping them, also helping ourselves. So it's like it's not a scam. I'm not trying to scam the person. I'm trying to I'm doing work. I'm adding value to be able to buy your land quicker. If I'm wholesaling it, yes, I'm taking all the calls. I'm getting the drone photos. I'm doing everything. You could do that too, seller. Like if you want to do that, I'm not telling them like, hey, go list on them. I have told someone before, hey, you should go list it on Baycom. It's flat fee because they really were not motivated. I'm like, I'm just trying to help them. Like I like helping people, so it's hard for me to like tell people what not to do. I give them too much information, but yeah, you say you pull away because I mean, if you want, this is what something RJ says. If you want a top dollar, or if you want, that's what you want for the property, then you should go call a realtor. Get phone with me right now and call a realtor. You need to do that if that's what you want. I cannot give you that. I have to buy for a discount. I am an investor. Like just be transparent,
Yeah.
but don't be a jerk. Now, over text
Yeah.
message, it was always really hard for me. And on the phone, because I'm trying to like weed people out over text messages
That's
of like
hard,
who I
man.
should get on the phone with. It's hard because you can't talk to everybody on the phone. Like you'd waste so much time. So you're trying to like weed out like who should I talk to and who I shouldn't. So it's like figuring out this little strategy. But
Yeah.
yeah, avatars are people that are motivated. Like you're not a deal creator, you're a deal finder. Like that, put that
You
in
should,
your
I don't mean to
brain.
cut you off. So people don't get
No, go ahead.
confused. Technically, the avatar thing is what, when you say this is your avatar, that means you've got a certain criteria which you designate as this is your avatar. So when you're saying this is your avatar, you're telling people in your particular scenario, I only speak to sellers that are motivated to sell, that don't want to deal with an agent, and that are interested in working with an investor that can close fast. I'm just giving you an example
Yeah.
so that people don't think that because your avatar might be different than my avatar,
Oh, 100%. I agree with you.
just for whatever it is. But I think, and I'm sure if the audience, were right in front of us, everyone would agree that everyone's buying motives as an investor are different. But you need to know what
Yes.
they are.
What's
You
your
need to know for
strategy?
yourself.
Yes.
You need to know for yourself because I'm sure you've ruled out people within 20 seconds of talking to them.
Oh, dude, 100%.
You know,
Because so on your end, it's kind of like PPC where that's that's a Google Ads guy. That's where you click, you put, I want to sell my land now, and Google Ad pops up. Very expensive to get those leads. Those are inbound. Any inbound leads going to be more expensive. If you're doing mail, sending mail out, they're calling you. Those leads, you're going to work a little bit harder. You're going to be like, all right, let me really try to work this lead. SMS, I'm like disrupting them, and it's like, or a cold call too. You got to really, because you'll waste your time with people who don't want to sell. So yeah, you're right. You're different avatars are different, but also your strategy is different, whatever you're doing and what your
right?
strategy is for actually the dispo process. So, but also guys, like don't you're not being like this arrogant jerk. You're just saying my time is valuable, their time is valuable. Let's not waste their time and my time, but also let me not weed someone out real quick. Let me see if there's some, and that takes time. It takes a lot of
Yeah,
time, a lot of reps, tons of reps.
yeah,
I'm not even there yet. Like it takes, but you'll see yourself now and a year ago, you're like, dang, I'm way better. Like I can really be efficient. Being efficient in this business to me personally, I love being efficient just in general. I think being efficient in this business and business in general is very, very important.
yeah,
And that's how you get to more deals, more leads. And I'm trying to figure that right now in my business, how to be as efficient as I can, talk to as many people as I can
yeah,
efficiently, not just like blasting people, efficiently. I'll find a deal a lot quicker and more deals. So
yeah. And I think as we come to the end of our time today, I think that,
mm,
and you and I, we could discuss this a little bit in more greater detail once we're done. I think what would be a great segue would be how to transition from two jobs to one job, or how to transition from your
mm,
full-time gig to doing land, if that's what you want to do, or finding the happy balance between land and your full-time job and using land as supplemental income. What do you think? Is that a possibility for a good topic
I
for?
love I love that. I mean, all of our
Yeah, I mean,
topics.
you'd be a
I
great
mean, I'm not
person.
trying.
I mean,
Yeah, I love talking about that
yeah,
because this is for the everyday guy. They're real people that are trying to
yeah,
make it. They have real jobs or real lives and families, and they're trying to do something. Yeah, the segue over, and it's a always. I mean, this is a marathon. Obviously, this
yeah.
isn't a race. You gotta take time, and you'll get there. Just keep at it. Don't give up. even
I
if you're like
would
down on
have
yourself.
I would have helped to close out, but since we didn't have enough time to speak before, I wanted to give you my social media handles, but I can't find them right now. So
Oh,
I'll let
okay.
you do
That's
the
fine. What I
honors.
want you to do you have time real quick to talk about that deal just real quick? That one you were talking about with the lady you're about to cancel. Just tell me why you're going to cancel it and tell us a little, just real quick, a
Oh,
minute
yeah. I mean,
thing.
pricing.
So
I
tell me about
mean,
the lot just real quick,
yeah,
just real
it's
fast,
no,
like
it's a
where
one
it's
acre
at, how
lot.
big it is. I'm sorry. Go
Again,
ahead.
it's a 1 acre lot
Okay.
in an HOA. It's in a cul-de-sac. It's dry, road access, low HOA. That the average 1 acre lot is going for 50,000. I have it under contract for 22. I
Oh,
have it
nice.
out on the market on the MLS for, I believe right now, I'm at 34. I have a ton.
Oh gosh.
I have a ton of views, hundreds of views, and it's been on the market for about 30 days. No buyers. I've already had an agent look at it. They say it's a great lot. Infill lots are not easy to sell unless you've got 6 months.
Well, let me ask you this: is it so? You said 30 days. Is there a lot of saves? I like to look at saves too.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of saves. So I'll tell you this: I had a lot that was 10 acres. Lots of wetlands, a lot, but it was in a really good area, dude. In 40 days, I had 1,000 saves.
Yeah.
I eventually sold it with a realtor who had a friend that had money and was buying land, and it took a
How
little bit to
long?
get done, but I made 12K on that. I'm just
How long?
saying, huh? What's that?
How long did it take?
Oh, it took me. I was averaging about 45 days to be out the door. I think that might take me almost 60. Is she getting kind of cold feet? Is that the problem?
No, I'm getting cold feet.
Well, why don't you? Hey, have you thought about reaching out to builders in the area or anything or like that? Or do you have drone photos, or you just
Yeah,
have
of course. Of course.
you have drone?
It's
Okay,
a
I
good
know.
idea.
I
You
will
know
say,
what?
yeah.
Thank you. I should hit up. I'm going to take a
I
note.
mean, you have it priced. So, what's the lowest sold? I like to go. So, what's the lowest sold in the area in the past like 6 months? Is there a lot of solds over there? A lot of
They've been
activity?
fairly, could have been off of memory, like high 30s, like 37, 38.
Okay, and they were sold pretty like within 3 months. You think?
Yeah.
Like on the sold data. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you're at 30 days. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, you know. I know you're getting a cold feet, but like, yeah.
I got to say, but you gave me something to do tomorrow. I'm going to hit up. I'm going to send out a bio
And
letter.
34 is like your minimum, right? Because I mean, you got to pay for closing costs on. But you trying to double close it?
No,
You gonna
wholesale.
double close it? Oh, just assign it, even better.
Yeah.
Okay, so no closing costs. So you could even come lower. You could come down a little bit more
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
get it sold. Okay, but 34 sounds pretty good. I don't want to. I'll tell you this too. I noticed if I was a bad habit of going down like too fast to get it sold, and I realized like that doesn't really help it all the time. Like get it to a good price, like 34,000, like you're saying. It's below the lowest sold in the area, even $3,000. So it's kind of like that's don't come any lower. Like leave it there for a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you'll probably sell it. But so that's cool,
Anyway,
man.
do it.
Well, all right. So yeah, so we're out of here, guys. I'm Jesse Davis, and Jason Cuero
All right.
is my co-host. We are the Golden Ticket Podcast.com. You can check us out. You can JV with us. There's a form there to fill it out. If you have a deal, you're trying to get it sold, you want some insight, whatever you want, just put it in there. If you want to be a guest on the show, you're doing deals, anything really, just put that form. There's a form there to be a guest. My handles on Insta is Jesse Davis REI, and then my Facebook is look up Jesse Scott Davis. Like put my middle name in there, you'll see me the picture of me and my daughter. But yeah, and then Jason will have his handles next time,
No,
so you
I
can
know
blow
it.
him
I
up.
know it. Here we
You
go. On
guys,
Facebook, if
honestly,
you're
guys, you know what? I'm gonna even throw this out there, bro. I'm gonna go real crazy. Hey, guys, if you want to text me, you can even text me, man. I'm getting crazy right
you,
now.
not me.
409, listen, 409-828-2044. Shoot me a text. I'll answer any questions you got. I'd love to connect with you. Look forward to next week. We have a lot of good topics, guys. Every week's going to be fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
And that's it, brother. So,
My brother.
sounds good. All right, man.
Yeehaw.
You take care. Have a good week. Yeah,
You too,
yeehaw,
bud.
and surf's up. No, you don't surf in Palm Beach, but all right, buddy.
Yes, sir. I'm out.
Take care.